I'm Mixer Giant, and I'm going to be saying how you can do the Simpsons Christmas specials in the cinematic universe that should get the Thanksgiving of Horrors treatment. Then you would also do with it being obvious, it being a spoof story, and it being how Frozen Sincere did the story, and the Simpsons doing the joke that they did better than Frozen. And for it being obvious, it being a spoof story, you would need to make it that Homer and Marge left Lisa with the trolls. So she would figure out how to use their powers, but then it looked like they died before they went back together, so no one ever came back together. Then she left the trolls inside of the legend of the Ice Queen that lives in the mountains and that she started. Thus seeing Bart, Lisa, and Maggie into the future, and us also seeing them having kids, them and the kids being affected about what happened there. They would point out what their parents said was bad, but they would still feel bad that they died, and Bart and Maggie would never give up hope that Lisa was still alive, and because of them looking for it is how they reunited with her. With them wanting to bring her home, but then Lisa wouldn't want to because they thought they abandoned her, but then she'd find out that they didn't abandon her. Which would lead up to them figuring out they all have elemental powers and how they all have elemental powers. They need to go on a journey and then showing the kids it. Lisa would be Elsa and Bart would be the guy from there. And Maggie would be Anna, and this would be when they're teenagers in the future. And with us even seeing their kids' futures. Without seeing Lisa having ice powers and them needing to seek out other people who have the same elemental powers as her. Then after her being left at her wedding by Milhouse, and it being Milhouse standing her up, her freezing her own heart, and her becoming evil all throughout the years, and her doing terrible things, and her doing evil things. And she would be the villain, and her not being the villain in the end. With her becoming good and redeeming herself, she would start an endless winter, but then she would stop the endless winter. And after Bart and Maggie find out about it, them being able to get through to her, and her managing to unfreeze her heart and to thaw her heart out. Because of Bart and Maggie caring about her, and because of her getting back together with Milhouse, and Lisa would have already had kids with Milhouse before the wedding. With her also being combined with Ariel the Little Mermaid, and her being a mermaid when she's wet, and her having legs when she's dry. For you spoofing Disney in general, and for you to be more original with it, and you also being able to make Izzy her daughter, and the same daughter Ariel had, Elodie, in the Little Mermaid sequel. It would be perfect because of Lisa inheriting it from Marge, and also because of Izzy being Lisa's daughter, so it going well with both of them being the daughters of it. And it being a combo relationship of how Elsa has a relationship with her sister Laura, and how Ariel has a relationship with her daughter Elodie, and how Lisa has a relationship with her daughter Izzy, and also how her having a relationship with Bart. And Izzy would also inherit the same elemental powers and mermaid when she's wet, and have legs when she's dry from Lisa too, because of Lisa inheriting it from her mommy Marge. To give Marge something to do in the story, and for Marge being good in the story too. And she would have the same relationship with Bart and Maggie that she usually has, but combined with the relationship that Elsa has with Laura. And Marge would be Tinkerbell, and Lisa also inheriting the fairy part from her, and so would Izzy, with the fairy part of them coming out all the time, even when they're mermaid or when them having legs. This Lisa would be the ultimate Disney princess, and you would be spoofing Disney in general with her being a mermaid fairy princess, as with elemental powers, who is also an ice queen with her daughter. With other people who have elemental powers is her prince and her family and her brother, and her sister with her mommy and Baba, and her friends, and also you making it that because Marge was a fairy is how I seen you about the trolls, and the trolls would just be the poor people of Springfield. And with Lisa also being an ice queen, and with their daughter being a princess. And it actually being how Marge and Homer survived being cryogenically frozen because of Marge being Tinkerbell, and with all of them using all of their kinds of magics together. With both sides of the family just being glad to be back together in the end. And there would be a lot of R-rated stuff like Cool World, but it being mixed with some live action stuff like in Cool World. With it also being really crazy and them having a lot of crazy stuff in there like Cool World. But it would be a cartoon city where there just happens to be a lot of cartoon characters, a lot of iconic cartoon characters, Warner Bros. And Disney cartoon characters, and them all already knowing each other like in Toontown. And the Christmas landmarks would be mixed with the Simpsons landmarks. So it being the Simpsons version of those Christmas landmarks, like in CN City, and with them all interacting with each other and them all already knowing each other like in CN City. And with all of them coming together and mixing together in a really patchwork and combined way like in CN City. It should be perfect for a town like Springfield where everyone has been there for years and already know each other. So the Springfieldians would be either cartoon characters, spoofed versions, and you can mix together the Springfieldians already knowing each other with how the cartoon spoof characters already interacted with each other when they crossed over with each other. Then for the other Springfieldian, and for the princesses, Sally and Terry would be Cinderella and Snow White because those two are kind of similar and these guys are twins. And Lisa's best friend would be the Frog Princess because of them going well with each other and because of them being similar to princesses like how they're similar to each other as friends. And Mr. Burns would be Hades, Apu would be Jafar, and Onion Carl would be the Shadow Man and Captain Hawk. We would see Izzy as a grown-up until her having her own kids and her being a grown-up, and her maturing at that age and her having her own elemental powers to flesh her out more as a character. And Bart and Maggie would have their own elemental powers to help Lisa to defeat the other guys with elemental powers and Allison would have fire powers, Bart would have plant powers, and Maggie would have wind powers, and Milhouse would have electric powers and then up with Lisa. Some of the elemental guys being good, some of them being bad, them getting rid of the bad ones, and them being friends with the good ones. Lisa going back to her family, and them getting the happy endings together. And Homer would need to sing I Saw Monica Singing Santa Claus from Michael Jackson in Most Bart and to have everyone like it, but then it would look like they wouldn't like it at first, but then he managed to make it that they did like it, and then so them being okay with it. Then you would do Santa Claus is going to down for them helping Santa Claus to deliver the presents. Then you would do Weird Al Yankovic's The Night Santa Went Crazy against the Springfield Bullies to show that Santa really shouldn't be Aryan and he should be bright and hopeful. Then they would do Dolly Parton's I Believe in Santa Claus to show why it's good, and then believing in Santa Claus why it's good, Santa Claus being bright and hopeful. Then you're doing a storyline of where Bart sends up to a bully so the other bullies follow him, but then them not following him because of them thinking him being too nice for it, and him refusing to bully someone, so them putting the original bully in charge of it again. Bart would need their help to help some people during a cold or time when the sun being blacked out by ice villains. With everyone else in the world being frozen or getting frozen, and only these guys wouldn't be frozen because of them having some fire and ice heroes and more sympathetic villains. And part of why Bart leader for a while is because the bully was humiliated by a nerd, and then the other bullies would try to bully that nerd, but then the original bully would convince them that he is a bully, the nerd, so they shouldn't bully him because of him bullying the bully and embarrassing in front of everyone. And then they would all work together to try to stop the ice villains, and they would stop the ice villains in the end with the help from the fire and ice as more sympathetic villains and heroes, and also having help from the bullies, and it also being because Bart it unfreezing the world, but there still being some snow for Christmas. Then the bullies should become a street gang, but for the good guys as stopping other criminals, with them just bullying other bullies. And because of the people being behind them and supporting them, they were getting okay from the mayor to do this, so it being okay them doing this. It also showing that anyone can change and anyone can be a hero, which is perfect for Christmas and a superhero Christmas at that. It also shows the valuable lesson that you shouldn't treat people badly, which is actually a really good lesson for a soup Christmas. And you actually showing it and it being the main part of the story because of Bart and Allison staying friends in the end. and the boys becoming a better persons in the end. And because of the people backing them up and supporting them, that's why them getting an okay for the mayor, so it being okay for them to do this. It would be a good future for the Springfield bullies, and it would also show it being good, them ending up like this is because of them already getting the happy endings at the end, so it also going well with them being bullies, but also becoming better person by bullying bullies, and also them standing up for people. It is good them bullying bullies and standing up for people, and them also doing a good thing and them also helping people. But them also letting bullies is wanting to change, but still stay their usual bullying ways, is let them be a part of this, and also that nerds who want to stand up for themselves but still want to be good to join them too. It would turn out that Homer didn't die, and he was just quite gently frozen in ice. He would be thawed out, and him wanting to repay Santa Claus by doing him a favor. By filling in for him at Christmas, especially since Homer got drunk at the North Pole, and him also just making it up to Santa Claus, and this is his way how. Homer would just do a favor with Santa Claus that he would be Santa Claus and deliver the presents this Christmas, because of Homer getting drunk at the North Pole. He would also learn how hard it is Santa delivering the presents inside Christmas, and you would have a newfound appreciation for Santa Claus. Then you would go home to reunite with his kids. Then you would do a spoof on Miracle on 34th Street by doing a Miracle on Evergreen Terrace. Abe Simpson, Homer's barber, and Brian and Lisa's grandpa would be Santa Claus. And everyone would think he's Santa Claus, and he would need to convince the judge that he is Santa Claus, and it would be good him convincing Lisa in the end that he is Santa Claus. And the only good lawyer in town would convince the judge that Abe Simpson really is Santa Claus. In the same way they did it in the original movie, it's spoofing. It would be great because Grandpa, Homer, and Barney are already like the Simpsons' own private version of Santa, with them being jolly and them having big stomachs. And because Lisa already believes in Santa Claus, it would be good reaffirming her belief in Santa Claus and making sure her being right to believe in Santa Claus, as in Lisa knowing that even more now. Because of Lisa being intelligent and her also being socially awkward, it would be good Lisa keeping her childhood innocence and her having hope. And it would need to be set after the Homer helping Santa Claus out thing, in the same part of the story. And this whole movie would start out with an origin story for Santa Claus, who would be Homer, with him being dropped off at his barber's orphanage as a kid, but then him growing up and wanting to give presents to the residents of Springfield. Then Homer would melt out the heart of an evil wizard called Winter, who would be Smithers. And the council would be okay with Homer during Christmas, and so they would make Homer immortal and get rid of the monsters against Homer. Then Homer would meet Mrs. Claus, who would be Marge. Then because of Christmas magic and Christmas being created during the Christmas magic, and because of Winter's magic, and also because of the council's magic, it created Christmas and how us during Christmas today. Then, in the modern day, Bart and Lisa would convince Santa not to skip Christmas and to do Christmas this year by encountering the heat and snow misers Patty and Selma, and by causing a white Christmas in Springfield, and by showing Santa that the world still cares about Christmas and there's still being some Christmas spirit. Then after them going home after this, Bart would set traps in his house to stop Snake, Jailbird, and Sideshow Bob from robbing his house.
What else did you do while we were away?
Just hung around. Merry Christmas, Mom.
And Homer would think everyone would be better off without him, and so he would try to kill himself, but then his guardian angel would say, the world would be worse off without him, because without Homer fixing all their problems too, and making their lives better by fixing their problems after it. So Homer would decide not to kill himself, and then he would turn out that they managed to get Homer a bunch of money because Mo got rich on his alcohol idea, and he said just give it to Homer since it was his idea to do the alcohol thing. And Mr. Burns would just rip up the bill that he was going to get Homer to pay for. And it would turn out it being because of Homer's guardian angel and because of his friends coming through for him, showing that no man is a loser who has friends. All the people he's helped out is willing to help him right back. And after him spending his whole life putting other people first, these people are willing to return the favor. It turned out it good him doing all those things for those guys. Mr. Burns would do it because Smithers abandoned him because of him treating him badly, but then Mr. Burns would get Smithers back after him doing that for Homer. Because Mr. Burns doing this to Homer is partially why Smithers left him, but after him admitting his wrong, Smithers managed to forgive him this time.
What a brilliant nose you have. The better to light my way. To the head of the team, Zero. Get down here, Sally.
Oh, I was trying to... Well, I wanted to...
To help me.
I couldn't let you just...
Sally, I can't believe I never realized that you... Jack! Jack! Happy Halloween! Merry Christmas!
Then Homer and Marge would come together like Jack Skellington and Sally at the Nightmare Before Christmas ending. They're also looking similar to it from that scene there at the movie.
You don't mind, I'd like to join you by your side, where we can gaze into the stars and sit together now and forever, for it is plain as anyone can see, we're simply meant to be.
And the grandpa would try to steal everyone's presents from Springfield. But after him seeing them still caring even without presents and that they don't need presents, they're just simply happy to be in each other's company, he sees that Christmas doesn't come from gifts, it comes from the company of others. So him giving back the gifts and him spending Christmas with other Springfieldians. Because he found out that Christmas doesn't come from a gift, it's something much more meaningful that can never be taken away from you. They're just good you being around other people, especially at Christmas. And the grandpa would have been sent by Mr. Burns, who had earned this life lesson too because of him also doing something similar to it, and that's actually the Springfield, so it's good him finding out about it here. Also doing an original storyline by it also being an original sequel to How the Grinch Stole Christmas, with them also going to a Christmas party with the other Dr. Seuss characters like the Fat and the Hat. Because you can't keep redoing the same animated movie story with the Grinch because of them even doing a horror movie with the Grinch, so yeah, it would be good if they did something original with that so us not getting any more of those happening to it. Then we get to see Homer drink some Buzz Colas with Frosty the Snowman, and him keeping Frosty frozen at the North Pole, where we'd see the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa's little helper, uses his bright white nose to help Santa clear his way through a dense fog. So he really would be Santa's little helper because of him helping Santa to save Christmas. And it would be perfect with him being combined with another Christmas icon, unlike Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And Barney would be Santa in the modern day to pay off that first Christmas episode with Barney and Homer being Mall Santa Claus. With him drinking a few Duff beers with Frosty the Snowman when he got back to the North Pole, and him also drinking some Buzz Cola and Duff beers with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa's little helper. Then Santa would make a special delivery because of the Santa's little helper Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by giving a Nutcracker toy to Abe Simpson, which he would give to Lisa. And us seeing this from the past to see how Lisa ended up with Milhouse because of the Nutcracker storyline. You doing the Nutcracker storyline with Lisa and Milhouse, and Lisa falling in love with Milhouse because of you doing the Nutcracker storyline with Milhouse as the Nutcracker, and Lisa being the girl from the Nutcracker storyline. For how she fell in love with Milhouse, and them having kids together. with Lisa waking up at night, right, and her going to play with the Nutcrackers at night, but then the Nutcrackers came alive and danced around her. Then they went to the toy world, and Lisa and the Nutcracker Millhouse would fight against the Rat King Mo. Then when Lisa wakes up, she would think it would be a dream, but it turns out she would think that it might be real after her seeing Millhouse in real life. And she wakes up, and her knowing that Millhouse is a Nutcracker, and this being how she falls in love with Millhouse, and her falling in love with Millhouse because of him being the Nutcracker. Millhouse would be a cool and daring hero in this because of his love for Lisa, and also because it being good him being a Nutcracker. With you actually doing some jokes, him doing this because of him standing up for himself, and also so Lisa will think he's cool, and because of him being a Nutcracker, and him standing up to someone like Mo. It would be good you doing Millhouse cool and giving Lisa a good reason to like him, and to do how Lisa falling in love with Millhouse. To really show why Millhouse is good and why the Millhouse-Lisa relationship really is good. I mean, you do already see that Millhouse and Lisa end up together in the future, so this would be a good way to show how they ended up together in the Simpsons canon universe officially, and how Lisa fell in love with him, and how he's staying in love with him. It being especially perfect since them showing it in a Christmas episode and this being a Christmas episode. It's also good them showing it in the future and them laughing and them doing tribute to Days of Future Past, as because of them already doing it before, and it also being good when they did Iron Man in the Thanksgiving one. Just being good, you showing how, and you giving them a good reason of how Millhouse and Lisa got their happy endings in the end. The reason why Mr. Burns did that nice thing for Homer is because of him going through a Christmas Carol storyline, and along with the other Simpsons characters as the Christmas Ghost, and with him finally deciding to redeem himself afterwards. This way you put all the Crimson Redemption storylines in one, and it being good for Mr. Burns because it's showing why Mr. Burns did this nice thing, and for a good canon reason of why him being nice at Christmas, as in at least on Christmas it being good, and why him not hating Christmas anymore, and him especially loving Christmas. With him also not treating Homer badly anymore, and him also giving Homer a raise. And him also making Homer his partner, and him giving the Simpsons a bunch of money. Then him and all of them coming together for Christmas dinner at the Simpsons house. With all of them spending Christmas and Wednesdays about together with the Simpsons and with each other. And you didn't do them all in the way I said, just as you doing it all in a straight line in the order of when they happened. In the movie, in the So's universe. In this way you would spoof all the most iconic Christmas storylines, and you doing them all at once, and because of you mixing them together is how you would do them originally. It would be good you combining them too.
That's all, folks.
Merry Christmas.